Good morning, guys. So first of all, thanks that you guys are here. You choose this talk. And also, I would like to thank the organizers of DeepSec for inviting me here fourth time. This is my fourth time here. So the talk is about a tour of Office 365, Azure, and SharePoint through the eyes of bug hunter. My name is Ashar Javed. I hold a doctorate degree in web security, and in this year, I am #1 in Microsoft Top 100 Security Researcher list. So let's move forward. This is how the abstract looks like. I will not take a lot of your time. You are waiting for the next coffee. So everything is about responsible disclosure. So once there are full disclosures, of course, they are more fun. But this one is like a responsible disclosure. I reported all the bugs to Microsoft in a responsible manner first and wait for the fixes. And not only that, all these slides have been shared with Microsoft a week before. And I'm grateful to Jarek Stanley from Microsoft Security Response Center for a detailed review of all these slides. And he provided great feedback. And he supports all this coordinated vulnerability disclosure process of Microsoft. So I'm grateful to him. So this was the kicking point, how I started it. But an Indian researcher published a blog post in June 2016. This June is important. I will come to that June later. But this talk was about a CSRF. He found something on Microsoft. But this, like a kicking point for me, okay, I was already submitting bugs to Microsoft, but they were not in scope for bounties. I thought, okay, let's go for it. Let's go for bounties. This was the starting point. Cross-site scripting. I assume everyone in this room knows about cross-site scripting. This is so common and so popular, so needless to explain what is cross-site scripting, where attackers simply inject something of his or own choice in the victim's session, and he can do whatever he wishes to do. But no need to explain cross-site scripting, everyone knows it. But let's come to some reports. This is a HackerOne. Do you know HackerOne? What is HackerOne? It's like a platform where different companies offer bug bounty programs. There are two popular platforms, HackerOne and Bugcrowd. So this is their 2017 report. And it says cross-site scripting was the most common vulnerability type. So we'll move on to after 1 year. Like 2018 report says, it continued to be the most common vulnerability. So it's not only in Microsoft, it's also on all the programs on HackerOne. What about Bugcrowd 2017 report? It says, again, cross-site scripting is the most popular vulnerability reported to us. Bugcrowd 2018 report said the same thing. Cross-site scripting is again at the top. So two different platforms, hundreds of companies are offering bug bounty programs, and both platforms' annual report says cross-site scripting is the most popular one. This tweet by Mozilla, this guy is from Mozilla security team, and he said that in the last 2 years, we saw a huge prevalence of cross-site scripting attacks as far as the bounties we paid out are concerned. Office 365 is a success story of Microsoft. So, according to Rachel Card, Chief of Staff at Microsoft Devices during Microsoft Ignite keynote talk, she said, security is built into the heart of Office 365. Sounds cool. Manpower. It's not about built into the heart. Microsoft is a huge name, big name. They have a manpower also. We employ a dedicated team of pen testers to find and fix security vulnerabilities. Group Engineering Manager, Office 365 Security said. They have a red team also, and their job is to find vulnerabilities, find all the loopholes, and the team consists of a variety of people like developers, testers, some from inside. I'm not saying, this is what Microsoft guy says. So Travis Rhodes, Senior Security Lead from Microsoft, said this. Matt Swan is a SharePoint and OneDrive security leader. He said, red team job is to find unknown unknowns. Awesome. Security testing and monitoring. According to this post by Microsoft, they have 3,500 cybersecurity experts. I'm not saying this. So, security teams, they have many security teams. Protect, vulnerabilities and mitigation team, Office 365 pen testing team. So what is their job? Their job is to find and fix or report all the security issues. Next thing, software itself. This was the manpower. Now come to the software. Microsoft said, we don't follow software development lifecycle. We follow security development lifecycle. Software itself is based on security development lifecycle. Given they said that it reduced the cost and it builds a more secure software. Sounds really cool. SharePoint and OneDrive, you saw articles like that. Security you can trust, control you can count on. It's a cloud-based service, Office 365. It's these amazing, awesome titles if you go through that. I would suggest in your free time, Microsoft is taking security really seriously. This is not, I'm not joking here. I would recommend you to listen to this podcast, the Security and Compliance Blanket of Microsoft 365. Just 2 days ago, it got live. And they will tell you everything about what they are doing for Office 365 security. It's amazing. According to Bill Baer, the head at Microsoft Ignite 2018, he said that data is the most important asset in your organization. And data loss are non-negotiable. Office 365 provides you security from the day one. You don't need to do anything. Microsoft is doing everything. They have like a multi-layered approach. This is how the platform security of Office 365 looks like. Here you have your data information. They provide you a platform security at the top, and at the top they have like a compliance control like GDPR and other standards, and also give you the security controls. According to this write-up by Microsoft, there are 90% of the Fortune companies are using Office 365, 120 million active users. SharePoint is used by 400K organizations in the world. This sounds challenging now. Manpower is there. Software itself is based on security development lifecycle. It sounds challenging now. To find something in Office 365, which is Microsoft's flagship product. I tweeted cross-site scripting. If you think it is dead, think twice. But why? It may be dead for a single or a small apps, but Office 365 is huge. Countless number of features. So the chances of that cross-site scripting is still there is pretty high, given if you dig deep inside the application. According to this guy, cross-site scripting is a hard problem. And on top of that, Microsoft is offering a bug bounty program. What is the bug bounty program? The program rewards researchers for sharing eligible vulnerability reports. Security researchers help Microsoft address cyber threats to secure billions of endpoints that protect millions of our customers. This is how the bug bounty program looks like. So the slides are right now online, so you can use it. So I participated only in this cloud bounty program. It is previously known as Office 365 and Azure. This is how the cloud bounty program looks like. It started in September 2014, so it's pretty mature now. And this is how the scope looks like what properties are eligible for bounties, like protection.office. There are some static also, static here, static here. What does it mean? It means that all the subdomains of this given domain is also in scope. You can find vulnerabilities, report it to Microsoft, and if it's an eligible report, you can get a reward. What Microsoft is offering you, minimum payout is $500 US, which is not bad. Like if you're spending like a half an hour or 1 hour from your free time, And what they're asking for cross-site scripting, CSRF, insecure direct object reference, whatever you wish to find, they're asking. So I participated in this program. It ends up like I was at number 21 in the top 100 list published in 2017. So where I am, here. And in 2016, I was not a part of the list. In 2017, I was at number 21. In 2018, number 1. Also, I got this certificate from a corporate vice president of Microsoft signed by Jeff Teeper. The question is, how they make this list. It's not like that they will include everyone. They use 3-point criteria. Like the fixed cases between July to June. Now you remember what was the kicking point for me? It was a published post in June. So I started at the right time because they start counting bugs from July to June. So their year, not from January to December, but from July to June. So number of fixed cases. Let's say you reported 100 bugs during this time. They will not count 100. They will see how many they fixed it. It may be 40, it may be 50, it may be 60. Plus impact, plus security. I would recommend you to read this blog post where they detail all the criteria. Also, they recognized me as a number 1 Q3 top 5 hunter, also number 1 in Q4 top hunters. 31 times you can find my name over there. 34 CVs has been released as of now in 2018. 7 CVs has been released in my name in 2017. So now come to the talk. This talk has 2 sections. First is the generic observations. I would like to encourage you guys to participate in the program. But keep in mind these generic observations, or I would call it some challenges that you may face, and some real findings I will also discuss. Microsoft has a talk just a few months ago at Microsoft Internal Security Conference, Blue Hat, and the talk title is MSRC, Microsoft Security Response Center Listens. It sounds really good. And this is what they showed in the talk. I would say just read anything from this slide. This is from their slide. Microsoft still sucks. Microsoft is dead. So stop this criminal insanity. This is not me. These are the feedback provided by the researchers to Microsoft, and Microsoft published it as such. This is what they are getting from the researcher. So I hope MSRC will listen to me now also. This is interesting. The 3P principle of participating in Microsoft Bug Bounty program. Here goes the 3 Ps. So those who are from Spain or from Asian origin, they know those who are from Spain or Asian countries, they may know this peso. It's a currency unit. Asia, pesa is a currency unit. Pain and patience. So if you have these 3 things, feel free to participate. There are types of pain also. Number 1, pain of managing bug reports via email. Man, this really sucks. One can report a bug only via this address, secure@microsoft.com. Now, this is how if I search through secure at Microsoft in my Gmail inbox, this is how it looks like. 847192258. Man, what the fuck is happening in these reports? You have to keep this thing all the time. It's your responsibility to keep an idea about what is happening. Is Microsoft asking for a reproduction? Are they considering it as a valid bug? Is there any question from the engineering team? It's your responsibility, not there. And it exactly looks like that. This is my screenshot from my inbox, and now if I search secure at Microsoft, I have to keep everything in my mind. It does not mean that I am advocating for HackerOne in background. I am not saying that Microsoft should start using these programs. They have other rubbish problems. So, pain of managing bounty invoices. Again, you're in Europe, you have to pay taxes. So you have to pay, and it's your responsibility to take care of all the invoices. Sometimes you get a money in your account, you have no idea where the fuck money come. So, it really happened to me many times. So it's your responsibility to keep track of all the invoices. So it's not only me. Tavis or Monday, he is from Google Project Zero team on one report that maybe he submitted to Microsoft. He's writing, dealing with Microsoft is such a huge pain. So man, the pain is real. I am not only feeling the pain, the others also feel the pain. Pain of writing an update email. This is the most stupid thing I used to do every week. Hey, any update? This stupid email. Why? Because Microsoft is reactive, not proactive. Every time you have to ask them. I want Fatik from Google Project Zero, he tweeted, why Microsoft, you are ignoring my emails? I assume we are friends. Should I disclose the bug or not? Or you are going to reply me? This is another interesting type of pain that you will experience if you will participate. Pain of abandoned cases given in staffing change and or extended absence. Sometimes the guy who is dealing your case is on a vacation for 3 weeks. You are waiting. In my case, someone gone for a parent leave for 9 months. So I have no idea for that case. What is happening? It's your responsibility for that. So a case manager, because every time when you report a bug to Microsoft, there is a case manager who is dealing with your reports. And he's a focal person who is dealing with you and dealing inside the engineering teams. This is most interesting pain type. Pain of figuring out a CV against a case number. This is so funny. It's really so funny. You report a bug. Let's name it like number 10. Internally, Microsoft created another bug number. They call it like 11. And they release a CV on the number 11. You submitted a bug number 10. You have no idea for which case the CV has been released. If all good, see this. I expect that Microsoft should write all the time like that. Hey, case resulted in the creation of case. Man, I don't know about this case. I reported this case. This is your internal problem. So, and they release the CV in that name. One day I receive an email, hey, Ashar, a CV has been released on this case number. I said, I never reported this case. Because I have no idea. So this is another pain type you have to figure out, you have to experience. And this is the most interesting pain. I hereby positively acknowledge the terms of. Sometime it happened to me that I am not only focusing on writing my report, I always looking that this sentence is there or not. Because if you miss this sentence, your bounty will be delayed. You will get another email after a long time, hey, we need a positive acknowledgement from you. If you will acknowledge, then we will give you the bounty. And they recommend to add this line in every report. So forget about the content of your report, write that line. So this is like that. Patience. One example case, 38809. This was reported on May 20, 2017. And a fixed email received in. And what is the fixed email? You need patience, man. You need patience. It's like more than a year, yeah. Okay, another case. When this case was reported, August 24. When I received the email, in 2018, 1 year, 1 month. You need patience. Another case. This was reported in July. And the CV was released in September. But this was 2017, and this is 2018. You need patience also. So this is for you guys. If you can bear all the pain and have patience, please feel free to participate. For me, it was well worth of it. For me, it's well worth. Having all these type of pains, it was good. I'm done for now. I'm no more participating as a regular submitter. Now it's your guys, your job to do that. For me, it was like a storm, but they may come back. Maybe in future I will look at it. The question is, if they come back, is it the same storm or a different? Or something has changed. Pesa. It's not bad. $500 for a bug is not bad, given it's a minimum amount, not a maximum. Never ever participate in a bug bounty program if they are offering a maximum 500. Never ever. Don't waste your time. Minimum is 500, and the maximum I received from Microsoft for cross-site scripting is $5,000. $5,000 for cross-site scripting sounds amazing. I will show you. So this is the graph of SharePoint bounties. My next year talk will be about SharePoint bugs. I found exactly like 100 SharePoint bugs, cross-site scripting in SharePoint only. So this is, in my experience, the bounty, the maximum bounty I receive for cross-site scripting is like 4,500, and this is the average payout is like 1,500, which is not bad. So let's start with some real cases. I came across this pop-up from Microsoft. You're assessing an information that may contain US government data, blah, blah, blah. You have to agree or disagree. I came across this dialog box, but look at the URL. The URL is like account.windows.azure.com/FISMA question, like a parameter, get parameter here. You have written URL. So I have a bad habit of looking at the source code all the time. This is my bad habit. So I look at the source code, and I realize what is the logic behind the agree button. The logic behind the agree button says, hey, FISMA container.find, agree button, click function. Then they change the global.location.href to something that is currently under user controlled via get parameter. So what happened if I will change this return URL get parameter to JavaScript alert one? Here you go. Cross-site scripting in account.azure just by changing, because global.location.href is now JavaScript alert one. The fix. I also checked the disagree logic. And now the fix is like that they have now a hard-coded URL. It is no more under your control. And Microsoft awarded me $5,000 for this very simple cross-site scripting bug, because it's the highly paid domain. So, connector developer dashboard. I came across this dashboard. This dashboard is like a form. You need to fill it out. And then you can copy the code that you fill it out with the help of this button. This is interesting. Like whatever you fill it out, you copy, and you can then just later share it. Okay? I realized after some testing that redirect URL is of my interest. This is what I entered in the redirect URL. Any valid URL, then comes the single quote, minus, you can use plus, multiply, any JavaScript operator here, and then the confirm, like a JavaScript proof of concept alert box. What happened next? As I said, this is a sync. This is getting all the data. Like an on-click event, this button activates. So this result in like a $3,000 from Microsoft. In the next bug, I will share the video proof of concept of this bug. But one interesting thing, fast forward 3 months. I think you guys also love this thing. They introduce new bugs, updates. They reintroduce fixed bugs. Microsoft fixed the bug, but some developer makes some UI changes. Previously, it was a button. Now it's like 3 new buttons. Previously, it was 1 button, but now there are 3 buttons. Or maybe something changed. Maybe they want to have a new user interface. Okay? Here you go. The same thing. The same problem. It's just an observation. Just look what changed. And change always bring bugs. So here it looks like inside the code, like on-click function. Inside an on-click, developers are using single quote. So the single quote from my valid URL will break it, and as soon as someone click it, this confirm pop-up will fire. So let's see a small video. I hope this will work. Yeah. Sorry for the bad quality, I am not a video producer. But the slides are online, you can check it on your own machines. So this was UI change, again gives me 1500 US dollar. So this is good. Just focus on the UI changes, what they are doing it. This is an interesting bug. Rules for creating an email address in Microsoft. These are the rules that one can create an email address. Letters, numbers, and the special characters. What are the special characters here? Underscore, minus, single quote, and dot. So please keep in mind these 4 characters. Underscore, minus, single quote, and dot. Microsoft wrote me, hey Azure, the fix is not yet complete. It's a responsible disclosure. So please don't share all the details for this bug because they are still working on the fix. Okay, I will skip some of the parts. But I tweeted about that. This email address, look at the email address. Single quote, minus, prompt, and here is backtick. This backtick is like ECMA script 6. You can use, instead of parentheses, you can use this backtick also in JavaScript. But wait, this backtick was not allowed here. This was not allowed. But I found a way to have a backtick in the email address. And as soon as I have this email address, I know Office 365 is a huge application. This is going to hurt them one day. And it hurts. In SharePoint, there is a web part, it's called contact details. It shows the email address of the user who last added the page. And here you go. Because they are using some inline JavaScript code, they are using single quote, and the single quote from my email address, break it, and the JavaScript alert box appears. So this is how the logic behind the function looks like. There is a function queue popular. And here you see, they are using single quote, the single quote break it, and the prompt comes. It's like $1,500 for having an email address like that. Next thing. This has a worth of $2,000. But what is this? What is this? And if you allow me to have a phone number like that, you are doing it wrong. Simple thing is like that. Who the hell has that type of number? So, okay, once you have it, now it's a matter of time. Once you have it, it's just a matter of time. I found Office 365 work phone property is completely under the control of user. You can have your own work phone like that. You can own even your fax, your home phone, mobile phone like that. Okay. I found in Office 365 video, they have an option you can add people related to the video. In this video, how many people are there? And at that time, they show the phone number also. This person has this phone number. And this resulted in an XSS because there is an API call behind the scene. It's asking for user profile properties. It gets all the phone number, all the mobile numbers, and they were not properly rendered in an HTML page. So it resulted in cross-site scripting. So what cost? This has like $2,000? Yeah. Okay. Display name property. For you guys, it's a hint. If you start participating in Microsoft Bug Bounty program, display name property is a gold mine. Seriously, it's a hint to you. Okay, but the question arises, why the hell on earth the admin will change your display name to a cross-site scripting payload? Why he will do that? Because if you go through portal.office, portal.azure, admin.microsoft, they are all under the control of admin. But can you ask in your organization to a SharePoint admin, hey, change my display name from X to a SharePoint vector? He will not do that. because it's under the control of admin. But you see, in admin, he can change the display name. In Azure, he can change the display name, but they are under the control of admin. But I found, hey, in Outlook Office365.com, personal setting, edit account, this is completely under your control. That's why I wrote here, I am in a total control of a user and no need for admin to ask me. Now you can have your own display name, whatever you wish to do. And the case, Office 365 offers real-time chat experience with the co-author and the co-editors. But there is a catch. If you are using a document alone, this chat UI does not appear. It only appears if you share the document, like you wanted to chat with some colleague. But now display name is under the control of a user. What if display name is like that? Just for my convenience, I write here like a U display name, because Office 365 is like a federated application. So many things are happening, so many places, you even forget from where this pop-up appears. What I did where, and all of a sudden it appears on a page. So for my own convenience, I use a vector like that. And here you go, access in the real-time chat experience in Word, in Excel, in PowerPoint, in OneNote, and it results in $2,500, okay. But Excel does one more extra thing. Excel, you have cells, you have rows, columns. So Excel offers you that you can even work with your co-authors on a single cell base also, okay. You know display name is under my control. As soon as you share a document and that guy start editing, you will be accessed because they show a message. This person is now editing the workbook. And this person is like a display name. And display name is under the control of attacker. So it's another access. It results in like a $1,500. So Excel also offer a feature embed. So this is you got. What's interesting on this page? Actually, one thing catch my attention, this one. Always start with this cell selected because here it shows a sheet name and a cell name separated by a marks of exclamation. But why I am interested in this thing? Because the sheet name have a single quote. I just wanted to see how Microsoft is treating these single quote, what they are doing behind the scene. Okay, I go to this. This is how the URL then looks like. And here you see the active cell, the single quotes are not encoded. So this gives me a hint that they are using single quote, but they are not encoded. I was expecting what next? Because it's an embed. Embed normally happens in an iframe. On the next slide, you will see they're using an iframe where they are using this active cell URL. You can share it to somebody or so that he can embed on his own page or somewhere. But this iframe source attribute is using double quote. But I saw here single quote is also not encoded. So there is a great chance the double quote is also not encoded. So I simply use the payload like that, double quote onload, because it's an iframe. On iframe, onload works, and here goes the confirm. So here you see an XSS, and they paid me like $2,500 for this simple thing. Now the fix is deployed. Now they are properly doing URL encoding of all these single and double quotes characters. Another case. This was a simple XSS in Production Office where a simple raw identity parameter, but the catch is like that. You need to have a valid URL, then question mark, and then any payload of your choice. If you will directly insert a payload, it does not work. So, also, last, Office 365 offers real-time query suggestion. You know, site, as soon as you start searching, site shows you some recommendation. They give you some suggestion. This is what Office 365 is also doing it. As I said earlier, display name is a gold mine. Just see this. So 2 windows, 2 different users. Because Microsoft always asks you to give a proof of concept that how it affect other user. So that's why I always make a proof of concept like that, where there are two users. So here again, the display name is like an XSS vector you can see on your own laptop or machine when you will be home. The slides are online. I will also tweet about that. So in Windows Azure, you can add groups, and in the groups, you can add members. Okay. Here is a group, any group you can call it, and with this functionality, you can add members. And as soon as you start writing an email address of a member, let's call it attacker, Office gives you real-time suggestion, and at that time, display name property is not properly encoded. So it resulted in an XSS, and it gives me like $3,000 here. So another case, SharePoint on main page, they offer search in SharePoint. So if anything in SharePoint in your organization is a cross-site scripting, anything, anyone, this search tries to populate it. And as soon as it tries to populate it, here you see. So they are not properly encoding it. Now the fix has been deployed. It's like $1,500 for this. So organization name in portal.office makes every page of portal.azure vulnerable. Here you see all XSSs here. I will move fast because last 10 minutes left. So another XSS in Yammer. Yammer allows you to have a policy in your organization, and as soon as your user will sign up, this policy will appear. So at the same time, they allow to use some HTML tags in the policy. So at that time, they forgot to properly encode it, and there is an XSS in Yammer also. So one more XSS in Office 365 groups. I will move quickly. You can later watch the video. So this is how it looks like. Like you can share your group to somebody, and at that time, the site asks you to go to the group, and here you see, on click event, window.location.href, they are using single quote. The single quote from the group name is not properly encoded, so single quote breaks the single quote, and the JavaScript alerts. So this is how a complete report looks like. This is a very simple report. I said simply the callback parameter is vulnerable. So I will move fast in that case. So in SharePoint, you can create like a team box. They have an option like go back to the SharePoint site now. But this go back is under user control via SP URL get parameter. So the parameter is like a JavaScript alert one. It resulted in an XSS in Office 365. So like that, there are different XSSs. I will not go into the detail, but I will come to the end. This is interesting. Isn't all these XSSs look very simple? There is no encoding, no rocket science, simple payloads, and we are talking about Office 365. But don't forget, they have all the manpower. The software itself is built on secure development lifecycle. And imagine, I'm not the only participant. Thousands of people right now, I am talking to you, maybe hundreds of people are right now looking at Office 365 for bugs. Man, they all missed these cases. And I found all these. So right now, when we are talking, in total, I have like 140 valid bugs in Office 365, 140. But please keep in mind, simple is not a synonymous for easy. It's not easy. Steve Jobs said, simple can be harder than complex. You have to work hard to get your thinking clean, to make it simple. But it's worth in the end. Once you get there, you can move the mountains. The story of XSS will continue in the years to come. I highly encourage you guys to look at Office 365, go for cross-site scripting hunt, and maybe next year share your story. I'm also grateful to this guy, Cameron Vincent. He is right now at number 4. And he agreed that what he experienced, I also experienced the same thing. So he agreed, and I'm grateful to him. So thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks a lot. Questions from the audience? We have some more minutes.
Hi, my name is Ben, and I'm from MSRC.
Good man.
I just want to say thank you very much for the feedback and for being our #1 participant in our bug bounty program. Really appreciate it, man. Keep it up.
Thank you, thank you. Actually, thanks a lot, thanks a lot. So it was really, I said after all this pain, it was well worth. It was well worth, yeah. So given at the end of the day, Microsoft is good in giving you the bounties that, as I told you earlier, the minimum payout is like 500. If you spend some time on the weekend or maybe in the evening or free time, it's good to have some money in that case as a part-time thing. And I'm also thankful to Jarek, your colleague. I shared the slide with him like a week before, and they were kind enough to review everything. The internal team of yours check everything, all these bugs are fixed. So thanks for that.
Hi. This is a question for a bit of advice from myself and maybe Ben also. So I have currently 2 big issues with Microsoft in SharePoint. That's created 7 smaller issues. Last night, and these are valid issues, I got an email through. Chrissy, I'm sorry, I tried to fight for fixing this with SharePoint, but they have decided not to fix as such, the case will be closed. What do I do? You are free to speak about this, and I'd encourage you to do a talk. So it's been valid. The SharePoint team are like, no, not getting fixed.
I also experience these type of thing. It's a common problem of any bug bounty program. Bug bounty programs are still immature. They need a lot of improvement. Sometimes what you are thinking, the team is thinking in a different way. So sometimes I also experience that it's really difficult to be on the same page. So for that, I would recommend you to maybe just do more interaction. It's like always like that. You have to be active. They are reactive. Sorry for that. So.
Yeah. I will add that they were really good, the MS.
Because I wanted to be honest, I am like, I make it to the top. I am #1 in the list that they publish every year. After all these experiences, so I am basically like giving you a sort of advance warning in the form of challenges that anyone can face. You're right, I exactly experienced the same thing because in SharePoint right now I am sitting on 100 valid cross-site scripting bugs. Next year I am going to talk about that. And I know SharePoint now by only finding bugs a lot. In fact, I even talked to Microsoft that you are giving a most valuable professional award to someone who shared the blogs to community, who share the knowledge. But my work, even all most valuable professionals are using because we are making SharePoint more secure. But Microsoft said that it's like a public. But I said I cannot make these publics unless fixed. Okay, other thing I can do, I can start writing blog posts, 100 blog posts for 100 bugs. So then they will give me an MVP then. So, but it's a common problem. It's a common problem of all the bug bounty programs. If you are a HackerOne or Bugcrowd, I stopped leaving these platforms like 4 years ago because they have other stupid problems. Microsoft is still good. Go for it. But please talk to the team. Maybe they are not understanding what you wanted to say.
Yeah, it's been an ongoing bug with them, or issue and case for about 6 months. And Dan, I must say,
1 year.
Yeah, so
1 year is the time.
1 year.
Yeah,
Give it
1
another
year.
6 months. I mean, for the long haul.
Yeah,
So,
1 year. Yeah.
I like to say that Dan was really good, but I think it's the SharePoint engineers who are giving him the pushback at the moment.
Patience.
Yeah.
Patience is the key to success.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Further questions? We have some more minutes. One would expect that when you find so many XSS issues, that the framework gets fixed so that string interpolation is fixed at a central location. Can you say something about that? Because many web frameworks just do it right at one point and you find them all over again. I would expect as a developer that there should be one point where it can be fixed.
I already told you that now so many people are working on Office 365, their security teams, even bug hunters are participating. Now they are getting better day by day. But as I said earlier, that cross-site scripting is a hard problem. It's not easy to fix if you are running with huge applications. Like, no one knows how many feature Word offers, how many feature Excel offers. Are all these features thoroughly tested? How one feature interacting with the other feature, maybe you are using something in Word, but it's appearing in Yammer. How all these connections, so with this huge application, it's really difficult. And I must credit to all the engineers who are working on the fixes, because breaking thing is easy. Fixing is really hard. And I think before we close the talk, we should have a round of applause for all these engineers who work on the fixes. Please.
So your point is feature interaction is one of the main reasons.
Feature interaction, or basically do basic rights. All these cross-site scripting are very simple because the basic is not right. If you will focus on the basics and do the basics right, like properly encode all the dangerous characters, it sounds very simple as a solution. But now imagine if you have millions of outputs. You have to use like a secure by design frameworks, but still we are in the early ages. We are still working on that. But things are getting better. They're taking it seriously, security seriously. They have their many programs, many team members. And I hope next year some of you will share their story. Thank you guys, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.